Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing? Welcome to the session. Today is July 26, 2022. This is our 3D market commentary, and my name is Jose Blasco. I will be taking care of the session today. We'll do our market analysis. More precisely, we'll do 5 different market analyses, looking at 5 key markets. We'll do that on 3D, which, if you are new to the sessions, you will soon know what that means. And I'm ready to go. So before we begin, financial disclaimer, please read it carefully. It's in the upper left side of your screen. We always point at the importance of the disclaimer. It's fairly short, therefore I am counting on you to read it completely, and it's being highlighted to help you do that. Thank you so much. Very good. With that said, we are ready to begin. So let's do it. What do we have on the screen? Well, on the right, we have a chart. In this case, as you can see with the watermark, is the ES S&P 500 futures in a daily time frame, 1 day. We have the S&P 500 index. We are going to be looking at more markets than that. We will also look at, apart from the S&P, crude oil. We'll also look at gold. We'll also look at the dollar and the Bitcoin. So we'll be looking at those 5 key markets, which really represent the whole financial system, if you wish. Now, to do this market analysis and therefore produce the market commentary we're going to discuss, we're going to use a 3D approach. And 3D approach means that we're going to be looking at things such as the climate, which tells us more about what's likely going to happen from a directional point of view. What is the upcoming market direction? To do that, we use AutoClimate, which later I will point at how you can get AutoClimate for free. Talking about getting things for free, here is a link on the screen for you to get this information I'm about to cover in your inbox every day, 1 hour and a half before the US market opens. That is also for free, as I said. We call it the News Flash. This way, if you were to miss one of the live sessions, you can always then get that in your inbox. Okay, so quite convenient, I would say. Then, apart from the market climate, we're going to be looking at the UFOs. Where are the on-field orders? On-field orders in the market are responsible for upcoming turning points and therefore are commonly used for entries and exits, either to enter a trade or conclude such trade. So the UFOs on the chart, they look like UFOs, as you can see. Red UFOs means sell on field orders. Green UFO means buy on field orders. So then the expectation is, if the market comes to the green UFO, you would expect it to bounce and go back higher. If the market goes to the red UFO, you would expect it to go back in the opposite direction and therefore create those turning points that I was mentioning a moment ago, which have not happened yet. Those are the upcoming turning points that could be identified with the UFOs. And finally, another variable in our 3D approach, which is very important, is the market volatility. So what is the upcoming price change speed? Are we going to be dealing with a market which is going to be the most boring market of the year, or is it going to be fast? Okay, so again, some of you as traders or investors, depending of you being maybe more conservative, less conservative, more active, less active, etc., you may choose for markets that are more in the volatile side or the opposite. Okay, so it's important to be able to measure all of that. Talking about measuring, let's begin with the S&P. And talking about measuring, the climate is confirmed, yes, to be up. This is what it means. It's a thick blue dot. Blue means up climate. Thick means confirm. Notice there are instances where the dots are thin, and therefore there is no statistical advantage at that moment in time because the climate is not confirmed. Right now, there is a statistical advantage pointed out by AutoClimate based on market data processing, where being a buyer, it's the smartest thing to do based again on those statistics. Now, nothing lasts forever. So we have the statistics for the duration of the climate, which is a normal duration for an up climate on the S&P on the daily time frame would be 8.69 candles. We've been moving up for 5 candles now. So there's still room for a little bit of an extra stretch on the way up. So that's what this market analysis is reporting at this moment in time. Now, the fact that the red UFO is so far away may imply that we may have a very extended climate to the upside, bringing this market all the way to here. So we may have a longer duration than 8, even though statistically speaking, 8.69 is what's to be expected. So also auto UFOs, which is the next variable which I'm going to cover, those UFOs, they are real time. So the next time that we meet, we may have a red UFO here on the screen, and that means that, hey, it's going to be difficult for the market to reach such higher price point. But so far, we don't have that red UFO, and therefore we are in a pretty healthy condition for the market to continue moving higher at this moment in time. So now, sell on field orders located at 4432.75, red value here. Buy on field orders 3713.5, green value below. This is where we expect the upcoming turning points, and speed of movement between UFOs is expected to be at a rate of 24.06%. This is coming from the VIX, which is the implied volatility of options on the S&P 500 index. And if we reverse engineer the pricing models, basically we get 59.88 points either up or down in a day. That would be the speed of movement. 131.83 points either up or down in a week. That would be the expected speed of movement. 274.42 points either up or down in a month. That would be the expected speed of movement, which is, it's nice. A few years back, if you were trading the S&P, it used to move 20 points a day. So now we're expecting close to 60. Nice. Next market is going to be crude oil. I wanted to highlight as well on the screen how you can get your auto climate as well as auto UFOs. You would just go to our website following that link, and you can get it there. So moving to crude oil. 1, 2, 3. Here's crude oil. Here are the UFOs. So what do we have? We are in a down climate, which is confirmed. So red and thick. And this climate has been running for 4 days, where statistics suggest 5.8 is a normal thing to happen. So in other words, this market is likely going to continue moving lower. And as discussed yesterday in the session, actually, we have multiple other UFOs above, red color UFOs, where the nearest green UFO is located all the way at 80.47. So there is plenty of room for crude oil to fall, even though just like yesterday, we are having 2 days in a row blue colored candles. So crude oil has been going up a little bit, but this looks, at least based on statistics, it looks to be a rally in the context of a down market. Okay, so expect crude oil to go lower. And again, if that's going to change and therefore buy on field orders are going to be added to the market, we will see UFOs show up here real time. And if that's the case, we will comment on that in the following sessions, but we don't have it at the moment. Speed of movement for crude oil based on OVX, which is the implied volatility of options on crude oil futures, is 47.96%. That is 2.97 points either up or down in a day, 6.53 points either up or down in a week, 13.59 points either up or down in a month. Okay, this is what is expected and ready to go with gold now. So we are gonna looking at gold. We're gonna be looking at gold. I'm loading the chart here. I'm also highlighting how you can educate yourself in case you need to acquire more education in your trading journey. And looking at gold again, same analysis. So we had, and I did comment on this yesterday, we had a little bit of a blue, right? It was a non-confirmed climate yesterday. Guess what? It went back to red today, and not only is red, it's a thick red dot. It's not thin like those on the left, for example, which are thin. It's a thick one. So the climate is confirmed, yes. And we are just starting a climate to the downside, which statistically speaking would be expected to last by 5.72 days. So we may see gold go down, which is very much in line as well with crude oil falling, because typically commodities, even though they are of a different nature, energies and metals is different nature, but somehow there are often very important correlations there. By the way, talking about the correlations, we'll talk about the dollar in a moment. So on-field orders to sell much higher at 1783.4. On-field orders to buy located at 1652.8, which is the green UFO right here. And again, speed of movement, expected speed of movement based on the options on crude oil futures, GVZ, we expect it to be at a rate of 18.30. Which it's if we reverse engineer the pricing models for options, so we are extracting that to be 19.78 points a day, either up or down, 43.55 points a week, either up or down, 90.63 points a month, either up or down. Okay, cool. So in other words, it may take close to a month to get to the green UFO below, so we may need to be a bit patient there. But so far, we are in a down climate. So this is what is expected based on probabilities thanks to auto climate. The dollar index is the next market that I would like to analyze. The dollar is pushing up intensively today. It's killing many markets out there. You see markets like the euro, markets like Bitcoin, they are falling relatively intensively, and that has a lot to do with the fact that the dollar index is up 70%, 0.70%. Sorry for that. That would be crazy. So anyway, so we are talking about a down climate. Okay, we still have a red dot, but notice how we have a little bit of a gray line going down, and these gray lines going down, they often anticipate a change of climate into the next day. Okay, that happens quite often, as you can see on the chart. So this is what's happening here, and given the current move of the dollar index, again, the day hasn't concluded yet, so the candle is not closed, so we don't want to speed up too much. But based on that, we could expect into tomorrow a blue climate and potentially the US dollar to continue moving higher. I was actually expecting the dollar to fall a bit more until this UFO and from there move, which is what I commented on yesterday, thanks to that UFO located at 105.44. But we may be in a situation, it's not showing up yet, but we may be in a situation where large market players are already adding on-field orders to buy. That may be the case. Now, the green UFO at this current price point is not showing up yet, so the algo does not identify enough quantity of on-field orders to plot it on the screen. So we just need to wait and see what is it going to be. Now, speed of movement expected to be at a rate of 11.59%. That is 0.78 points a day, either up or down, 1.72 points a week, either up or down, 3.58 points a month, either up or down. And the last market that we have to analyze is the bakkt Bitcoin. This is one of the futures contracts that trades in the ICE exchange related to Bitcoin. There are multiple futures contracts, or you could trade Bitcoin itself. But anyway, so we can see how Bitcoin has been going down. Actually, it looks like we have an indication of a potential change of climate into the next day. We'll see what's going to happen in the end because the day has not concluded yet. But again, we are just basically entering the green UFO I pointed yesterday during the session, which is located here at 20,832. And given the fact that price is in the UFO, we may see price rally sharply out of the UFO. And if that's the case, we may not end up changing climate into tomorrow, and we are still in a blue climate. So again, it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen because if the market bounces, so then I would say we're going all the way to that 29,432 mark. If the market doesn't bounce from that UFO, and that's because the orders are being canceled, and that leads to a change of climate to be red in here, and we'll see that tomorrow. So then we may get to see Bitcoin reach 14,000, which is the next green UFO below price. Okay, but I am missing some red UFO show up here, which has not showed up yet. So all of this will be important for this particular market condition to take place. So far, again, if you are long Bitcoin and you did it because of the green UFO, so that's it, you're in the trade. If you didn't get into any sort of trade of that sort, I guess that patience would be important. See what type of climate we're going to get into tomorrow, because that would say a lot when it comes to what to expect next. So implied volatility for Bitcoin is expected at a rate of 81.54%. That is 1,000 plus points a day, either up or down, 2,000, almost 400 points a week, either up or down, and almost 5,000 points a month, either up or down. And finally, when it comes to economic reports, so today it's Tuesday, July 26. So there have been some important reports in Australia, but again, we are focusing on the opening of the US market right now, which is happening in 45 minutes. And in that sense, not too relevant, I would say. Anyway, everybody, my friends, it's been my pleasure to conduct the session for you. I want to remind you one more time, since I did yesterday as well, that tomorrow is going to be a very important day from a news announcement point of view. It's an FOMC day, so careful with that. It's often a source of opportunity, but also a source of peak in the volatility conditions, and make sure that you have that under control. Everybody, my pleasure. If you are into futures trading, I'm starting a live future session in 15 minutes time. So see you in our private room on our website. And if you're not into futures, so I will see you tomorrow here with a news flash, or maybe I'll see you on Thursday when I do options. See you then. Take care, my friends. Have a good trading day and be safe. Bye bye.